day, everybody. It is Calxiyn here, and welcome to my first episode reaction of Season 2 of The Promised Neverland. I'm super excited to get started, but I do want to talk a little bit because I did react to Season 1, but that was a million years ago. So a lot has changed, the room has changed, the format has changed, so I do want to explain for returning viewers what we're doing here today in terms of formatting. Now, if you've watched Attack on Titan, you will be no stranger to this, but basically what this video is going to be is big moments reaction. So the biggest moments that happen in the episode I'm going to put in here, and then afterwards we will do a discussion, analysis, review type segment where we take screenshots and then we scroll through the screenshots and we talk about it. So that is going to be the new format. Before I was just doing reactions with the full timer and subtitles, but that'll still be up for patrons. So if you guys want to see the full reaction with a timer and subtitles, you guys can check out the Patreon. But if you're cool with the big moments reaction and then the discussion we'll have after, we can just go ahead with that. And yeah, I'm super excited, and I don't know what else to say. It's been a long time. I think I already said that. It's like, it came out in 2019, the first season, I'm pretty sure. And so yeah, it's been like literally a couple years, and so I'm really excited to just get back into it, to see what this new season brings us. And yeah, I hope that you guys enjoy. Let's get into it. I don't know. Is this a dream? It kind of seems like a dream. It seems a little fuzzy, in my opinion. Oh, Emma's smiling though. So like, what's all that? Okay. No. Why was she smiling? She's like, think of it as a game as we run away from this monster, and I know that's her personality, but what the hell, Emma? Oh my God, what is that? Aww. But you lost an ear too? Aww, that's so nice. I'm very happy. Things are nice for now. Uh-oh. What was that? Something sliced through it. They didn't need to use the trap. Oh my God, is it the sword guy? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh no! Bro, why the fuck would we trust you, sis? Oh, Ray. What is happening? Come on, Ray. Oh no, if Ray dies, I'm gonna cry. They just solidified their friendship. Oh my God, Emma just like full on fainted. Oh shit, things are looking pretty hopeless. What? There's a girl? Not a human girl. She could be a demon girl, bro. Come on. Oh, nice. Grenades. Yeah, I think that was maybe the guy from the opening, the big guy. I wonder if there could be demon-human hybrids. Uh-oh. I'm so worried. Norman knows she's a demon. Why is a great question. Hi! Alright everyone, it is time for the discussion and analysis, and let's start with the most terrifying, they just got into it, like the most terrifying thing this episode was just, like, Emma's smiling, she's like, think of it like a game of tag, and I was sort of lulled into this false sense of security, because this is a dream sequence, or at least it looks like one, right? Obviously it's not, but it looks like a dream sequence, so I was like, oh, like, she's just dreaming, she'll wake up, everything's fine, and then it just, like, cuts, and it cuts to the monster chasing them and all of them screaming. Like, I feel like that was really well done because it reintroduces you to the show in a very compelling way. It's like, hey, remember that the world is terrifying. Here you go. And it terrifies you in the first, 5 seconds, right? And so, yeah, it really did lull me into, oh, this is a dream. They're all running, in the dream. And then it's like, no, they're running. They're actually running, and it's terrifying. The CGI monster, a little terrifying. I don't know how I feel about it yet. I've seen a lot of people complain about the CGI. It doesn't bother me to the point where I'm irritated or annoyed by it, but I did notice that it was a little weird, a little janky of it. So I just wanted to note that. But yeah, I just love this opening scene because it draws you back into what you experienced in the last season of this terrifying nightmare world, and I really like that. I also like how they showed off the environment. These plants come back later, I think. I think those are the same plants that are in Ray's cave room later on, and so I really like how they show the environment as well throughout this episode, just the different plants you have. I think her name's Yvette, looking at the different plants. But yeah, I really like this opening. Freedom is so beautiful yet so cruel, and so I really like that line. I feel like that's probably the vibe. That's gonna be the vibe of the season. And let's talk about the OP. My current idea for the OP is that these flowers all represent the children and then maybe the moms, just humanity in general, different types of flowers. And then over here, you have these red flowers, which we know very well. They represent blood and death and some other things in the last OP. But I'm looking at it, and you have many of the same flower and then one different one, it seems. And that's making me think that if these are the children, then these are the demons. And most of the demons are the same except for one or two, as we will see the demon girl and then the man later in this episode. And I really want to talk about that. But that may, I don't know, maybe it's something else. But this flower also looks like the white flower that is in this episode. I'll point it out to you guys when we get there, and that makes me think that it could also be a normal flower stained with blood, something like that. But yeah, I think that the demon, this could represent that not all of the demons are the same. There are a few and far between demons who are actually different, and I have a whole theory about those demons, the man and the girl. I guess I'll just say it now, but my theory is that they are demigods. Think about demigods, a god and a human. I'm thinking of a demon and a human, and that they are the babies, and that's why they're more humanoid than some of the other ones. And so that's what this flower could represent, human doused in the demon blood, a humanoid-ish demon, I guess. And so that's what I'm thinking about all this. And then you see, right, you see the demon hand coming with the child's hand, and so that's why I'm thinking that they are both connecting, and that this is supposed to represent the girl, right? I don't know. This, one is Emma, one is the girl. That's what I'm thinking. But then they pull apart from each other. I don't know why. I like this shot of Emma. I like that we can't see her eyes. They did that with Ray in this episode, and I thought it was really nice. I feel like that Emma is just this beacon of hope, and she's gonna crack eventually. I feel like that's just her characterization, is that she's so bubbly and so positive, and she's pushing herself. Even Ray said, you're too eager, Emma. So I feel like that this is definitely going to be coming back. And you see butterflies, right? And butterflies, flowers, it's all sort of connected. And then you see these two kids running. I wonder if this is Emma and Norman, or if these are two other kids that we haven't been introduced yet. Sort of a flashback, say this is the mom and then the boy that she liked and all that bound stuff happened, right? And so I'm sort of wondering if these are supposed to be representative of characters that we haven't seen yet, of older characters. Because I do see something in, it was either the OP or the end song, that there were a bunch of different, people. There was the blonde girl who had the flowers in her, and we'll talk about that later, but I'm wondering if that could mean something. Now, with the clock is also in the end song, and I'm wondering if this clock could represent a safe haven, I suppose, because one of the trees has a clock carved into it. And that end song is about, I'm assuming, the demon boy and the girl. And I think that that would be their hideout, or maybe William Minerva's hideout. So I feel like that this clock represents like maybe a safe haven among all the demons. I don't know. I'm just trying to we're just having fun, guys. I don't know if this is the literal interpretation. This is just what I'm seeing. I think that the rabbits, it's almost representative of seeing the children on the plates later. Like, this is what the children eat, but they're not any different than the rabbits. Like, the children that eat the rabbits are no different than the rabbits themselves, because the children will one day be prey. I feel like that could be the symbolism. And then you see all these kids, so I wonder... This doesn't really look like, I mean, obviously it looks like a farm, but it doesn't look like the farm that Emma came from. This mom over here, she looks a little different. So I wonder if it could be possible that we could see other farms. Like, other farms are out there. Emma seems to be very focused in this episode on, oh, you know, we'll get William, we'll go back, we'll get Phil, because Phil was left there, obviously. We saw that happen last season, and that Phil is basically going to be like the next Emma. Like, he knows about everything and he will prep the kids to escape for the next time. But I wonder, like, there must be hundreds of houses at least, so it's like, when are we dismantling the system, Emma? Like, let's go. So I wonder if we will see another house in the future. And so, yeah, again, we see the blood symbolism with the flowers, demon food, and then we see that them being on the plates is very similar to the rabbits, so we got that symbolism going on. I wonder if any of these kids are kids that we know or not. I don't recognize any specifically, but again, there are characters in the end song, I believe, like that blonde girl, so I wonder if we should look out for her. Then we got the demons, probably some demon king situation going on over here. Yeah, so these are other kids that have left, and so I feel like that they're all leaving to walk into the field of demons because all the people that were adopted turned into food. And so I really like the symbolism of that, of all these kids walking, and then you see, whereas all the kids are walking this way, Emma is turning to the light. Like, Emma and them, they are escaping. And so I really like that as well. I'm not sure what this is. This kind of looks like the monster that was chasing after them, so it could just be there. Then we have the girl. Now, she has blood on her hands, but I wonder what that could symbolize, because I'm gonna talk about this. She seems to be on our side. I don't think that she's suspicious yet, because Ray brings up a lot of good points. Like, why wouldn't they tie us up? Why wouldn't they do this? Why would they do that if they weren't allies? And so I feel like that she is on our side, and the OP also shows that as well, but I wonder what the blood could mean. Like, maybe she lost someone that was important to her. Like, maybe that was the blonde girl that we saw. I don't know. And then we have Phil, and is this a new mom? I don't think that's Isabel. What if they, got rid of Isabella, and they killed her? They were like, oh, you didn't do a good job, and they sent in, a newer mom. I don't know. I hope that we check back on Phil. Like, he's in the OP, and they've mentioned him, so I hope that we check back and see how things are going in there. I feel like that would be very interesting, very compelling. Then we have this guy, which I wonder if that's what no, that guy looks human, actually. I was gonna say, if this is the guy under the demon mask, just because the other girl, smiles, and she has teeth, too, but then you don't see her face. I'm looking at him, maybe this is Minerva, just based on his expression. I don't know, maybe it is the demon guy. I'm not sure. And then we have the demon hands, a bunch of kids in the reflection. That should be self-explanatory. And then we have this pattern. I'm not entirely sure what this means, but it looks like change, right? And then you see, Emma with the chains. So I think that that's probably an accurate assumption, is that these demon hands are chaining the children, and Emma's almost on the other side of the chains looking in. This is a very serious expression for her, a very I'm having a mental breakdown expression. And so I hope that we do see a lot of character development from Emma. I don't want them to totally crush her personality, but I do want her to grow up a little bit, I guess. While keeping the core aspects of her personality, I also want to see her mature. And I feel like that's what we're getting to in the changes of hairstyle and some other things. But yeah, see, okay, so there's this blonde girl. Is she with them, or is she somebody else? I don't know. That's a little suspicious. I don't recognize her. So I wonder, maybe these are from a different house, because it's weird that they're not in the line with the others. So what if these are who came before, almost, other kids that have escaped? I wonder. I don't know. Because, yeah, I don't know. They kind of all seem in a line, but I'm not really really sure. Also, there's this really tall guy, and so I'm assuming that that's the demon guy, or it's just another guy. But yeah, it's sort of hard to tell. Because I was like, who's that big tall guy back there? But I wonder if it's another character, like another adult, like an actual human adult somewhere, instead of, because the demon girl doesn't seem to be here, and so it wouldn't make sense for him to be here unless she's somewhere else and I just don't see her. Then we have the demons, obviously, very, very buff demons on this side. We have Emma, and so yeah, so who is this tall guy? Oh, no, that must be the demon guy, because the girl's right there. Okay, we just couldn't see her because she's a little short. So I guess that this is the demon guy, and then this is the girl, and then this is just everyone else. But I don't see Ponytail Girl now, so I wonder if that was like a hint to something. Maybe I'm just reading into it too much. But that's the point of a discussion, guys. We're discussing, you know? So I like all the hands reaching out towards the light. I feel like that's good symbolism. This is why I don't think that they're evil. Obviously, this could be a red herring, but it seems like that they want to reach out towards the light just as much, right? And so I think that they are going to be on our side. That I wonder what their explanation would be, but I think that my theory that I have right now is very sound, that they are the byproduct of human and demon fucking, and that they have sided, like, with the humans, or they were outcasted from society, because I doubt that that's allowed. Like, that's, like, basically bestiality to eat your food, and that would mean that the demons would have to recognize that humans are, you know, that they're almost cognizant, right? That they are intelligent beings, like the I think, therefore I, like, all of those, like, high-functioning levels of thought. Like, human beings are not the same as, like, a chicken, right? And by acknowledging that humans and demons could fall in love or something, like, that would, like, destroy the system, because people would think of humans differently. I feel like that could be a thing. I don't know. But we haven't even gotten into the episode yet. I've just been analyzing the OP. I really like the hair because it sort of is representative of her ear being lost on this side, like the extra little hair braid. And Emma just looks so much more mature in this shot, so I really like that. And then you have Ray, and then I'm guessing that this empty space is here because Norman's coming back. I don't believe he's dead. You can't convince me that he's dead. I think, especially because they both turn this way, if that makes sense. Like, they're both almost, it's like they're almost turning towards the direction where Norman would be. And then you have the clock again, but this time it's surrounded by flowers instead of surrounded by the demons. And so I think that we got a lot of nice symbolism. And then the clock, I think, like, strikes, like, it hits that point. And everything in the outside world is huge. I really like that because you're reminded that they're kids and that everything that was around them, like, they were basically in an empty field. Like, they've seen a tree before, but have they seen, like, this level of, like, forestation? Like, I don't think so. I think it's cool that they're like, whoa, it's huge. Like, first of all, they're kids, but second of all, like, everything, like, trees are already, like, super big for, you know, humans in real life as well. So I think it's just endearing to see them experience parts of the world for the first time, basically, because they did sort of grow up in this area with not really much in it. Like, there were some trees, but it was a field and there was the house, and the house is the biggest thing that they've ever seen. They haven't seen trees bigger than their house, but yet here we are. I just really like that. And I did not think, so I sort of assumed that this anime was almost like an alternate universe of our world. I didn't think that we would be getting into, like, weird creatures. Like, I sort of thought of the demons as aliens, I guess. But it seems like that this world is definitely different because there are, like, flying insect fish. So we are getting more into the fantasy than what I thought, because I personally sort of saw it as, like, oh, the demons are aliens, but it's the same world. You know, like, there's a Canada and there's the UK and there's Australia and the demons have just invaded. Like, that sort of thing, but it seems like we are in, like, a fantasy world, like, setting, which I'm surprised by. Now, see this flower right here? This is the one I was talking about the flower being drenched with the demon blood. And so this flower is actually, like, white, and it's different than all of the other flowers in that section of the OP. So I feel like that this is representative of something, but we don't know exactly what this flower is. And so I feel like that the fact that this flower is the lone flower in the OP and it's different than all the other ones definitely means something. Like, I feel like that it represents what I said it did before, or something else. Like, it represents something, whether it's the demon girl, because there weren't two, there was only one. So that's the other thing, right? Is that you would think that if they want to represent the demon guy and the girl, they would put two flowers, but they only put one flower. So what does it mean? I still think it's like a human drenched in demonness in some capacity. I'm just not entirely sure. I like that they're introducing us to, I don't think they're new children. They were probably there in the background, but like, I think this girl's name is Yvette, and then the other one's, Anne. I did not see them last season. They're like new to us. I think that they're just sort of rotating through the kids and giving them a bigger role, right? Because obviously characters like Phil, they're not here anymore, and so those roles can be taken up by some of the other kids. I really like this scene, like the pursuers from the farm may come, because it's just like, look at this scene, like look at the lighting and the trees, like it seems so peaceful, and it does seem to be a peaceful area, but the pursuers do eventually come in. So then we get a snack break. I'm not entirely sure what they're eating. It just looks like a fruit, like I don't know, they look so, oh, maybe it's bread, maybe it's just a bunch of buns, but I think that this scene was interesting because you see that Gilda and Dom, like, not that they didn't have a big role before, like in last season they were kind of secondary characters, but here they really take on the leadership role a lot. Like you see that Gilda's organizing all the kids, and that Dawn as well, like Dawn later, they think of like an escape plan, and he does the signal, and like they both split off, like they had planned that and like told the kids that. And so I think that they're definitely becoming more important as characters, especially with Norman gone. You have to sort of pick up the slack of the cast, and so I feel like that it makes a lot of sense for them to step up in that leadership role. And I really like that because I did call Dawn a himbo. I still stand by the fact he's a little bit of a himbo, but I feel like that this was it was organic scenes showing how they've grown and showing them come into their leadership even more than last season, because they were already doing it last season, but it's even more so now. And you see that Emma is already, it's starting, right? So her Band-Aid, I'm pretty sure, wasn't red before, or at least it doesn't seem like Ray's Band-Aid is red. So you see that there is some foreshadowing to the ear situation that happens later in the episode. It actually zooms in on her ear at one point. I don't know if I captured that. I think that this was just funny. Like, it's nice to see them still being kids, even though they're in this situation. It's not like this is the territory of a savage beast. I don't see any footprints, claw marks, or droppings of that sort. So that's interesting too, that it doesn't seem like anything dangerous as actually in the forest, but rather the demons are coming from, I don't know, Demon City, and like looking for them inside of the forest, right? Like, you wouldn't need to have demons here 24/7 because usually people don't just escape, right? And so it makes sense that this is pretty untouched and uninhabited because no one would ever come here, right? Like, there wouldn't be natural demons guarding every part of this forest because nobody has ever escaped before. So I feel like that was interesting. But yeah, I think that it's this point where Ray looks at Emma's ear and it sort of zooms in on it like it's gonna be important later, and then it was. And so I really like this scene of Ray apologizing. If I had cooperated from the beginning, maybe you wouldn't have hurt your hand or lost an ear. And so I like that Emma's just like, as long as you're alive and smiling, that's all I need. And the other dialogue in this section, I think that was really nice. I like that Emma isn't holding any resentment to Ray, but also Ray, even though he apologizes, he still feels like he needs to make a vow to her to prove that he is like on their side 100%, because Ray was the most like, we can't save everyone, right? And he wasn't necessarily like super wrong. Obviously they left some of the kids back at the house. However, the way I'm thinking about it is, I guess, I feel like that Ray has like finally committed and like believes in Emma, and now he wants to do everything he can for both Emma and the family. But I think that he's also doing it because of Norman's absence. Like, I feel like that he is trying to fill in the Norman space in the group by being this committed and almost like devoted, because I think that Norman was very devoted to Emma. That's just my interpretation. I'll live and protect this family, everyone in this family just like you. So he wants to be more like Emma, and I think in a sense also more like Norman. And I feel like that he is, again, taking up that role, and I really like that. No matter what happens, I'll never abandon them again. And so I really like this character development for Ray. I like that he is doing it almost to take the burden off of Emma's shoulders, because he can tell that she is struggling a lot internally with her role. Like, she's trying to put on a brave face for the kids, like, oh guys, it's just like tag, don't worry about it, but clearly it's a lot more stressful for her. And I feel like that she may come to a breaking point eventually, but then also having the other like older kids participate in a way where she feels like she's not alone. I feel like that's gonna be a big thing. I just really like that message, that they're all uniting together and they won't let her take the burden by herself, and I really like that. And so they want to get water, and I don't feel like we need to go over this too much, but I like that Rey recognizes, like, the enemy will assume that's what we'll do, and they end up finding water in a less, like, locatable way. Instead of going to the river, like, that's a landmark that they would expect, they find it in the plant because of one of the other kids. And I really like the idea with the books, and we'll get to that in a minute. And so I like this because Emma's just, like, southeast, and then Gilda's just, like, it means, like, in between east and south or whatever, and then Dawn's just like, Gilda, I'm not that much of a himbo, but I really like Dawn and Gilda. I like their dynamic together. I think that it's really cute, and I like that there's still some comedy within all the terrifyingness. I feel like they've done a really good job at that. With the pen, I really enjoyed this, and there are coordinates on the inside, it seems. B0632. So what was the whole point of digging into that system if the code was just on the side of the pen? That's a little suspicious to me, because I wonder, like, why? I mean, I guess they had to open the map so they could find where B0632 actually is, but the code was on the outside of the pen. That seems a little dangerous. I don't know. If you need help, come visit me. And so I guess it's just reiterating that that's a coordinate, but the coordinate was already on the pen. I don't know. There's something about that like strikes me as a little strange, but I haven't put my finger on it yet. I'm sure that as we talk in the comments, you guys can help me out with why it would be on the outside and the inside. But I guess, again, the map on the inside was to reinforce that was the code, but just in case they didn't get it, he left a little message for them. But I'm just thinking, like, couldn't the demons just read the side of the pen and know that it's a coordinates? Yeah, know that it's a coordinate, and, like, he'd get found out. Like, that seems a little dangerous. That seems a little dangerous to me. But I really like this scene that they're all like, whoa, like, as they're doing the pen stuff, they're just like, whoa, and I like that. But then they start to think about Norman and they all get sad, and you see Emma is starting to break a little bit too, because it's finally setting in for her, I think, that Norman is not with them. But then she sort of shakes and she's just like, nope, we're not thinking about that, gotta be strong for the kids. And that she still has hope that he's alive. He's definitely alive. I don't believe he's dead. You can't convince me that he's dead. There is no body, no death. Like, he just got, I don't know, like, he just got sent off. We don't know what happened after that. Like, I feel like that he's alive and he's out there somewhere. It's just a matter of time. He's also in the end, OP. So that's a little suspicious. But yeah, I like this scene with the cactus. I think it's really cool to show that the other kids are just as smart or have other talents. Like, she memorized, like, I've seen this plant, I've seen that plant, that bug looks familiar. So I like that they're giving them different talents and different types of characterization. And I feel like we could get into the territory of the kids will win because they're so versatile. Like, maybe the demons can only do one thing, but all the kids have different talents. She knows the plants. Like, Emma and Rey, like, are super like, for strategy. And so I feel like that a bunch of different kids could have a bunch of different talents, and that could be a interesting theme. Like, the demons can only do these one thing or a couple things. Like, sure, you can use a sword, but we have someone that can identify the plants. Like, for their survival, it's a, power of friendship thing. I know that's kind of cheesy, but that's how I imagine it anyway. Or at least not even a power of friendship thing, but just that humans are more than the demons think, and they can be stronger as a society because of humans' versatility and how they can survive based on working together as a community. That sounds good to me. The plant was in the book, and so yeah, these are sea anemones. So that's what I don't understand, is that they're in a forest, but there's like fish and stuff. So I don't get the whole sea anemone thing. I guess it's just like, ooh, fantasy logic. You have the fish, but the fish are on the outside of the water. Like, I don't know. This is a guidebook to survive the outside world. I really like that too. Because you think of, like, William Minerva, and you sort of wonder if he went through these forests himself once, and then he wrote the books. But how did he get the books in the house, is my question. Like, unless that this was written by a demon, like another demon that sympathizes with humans. Like, how did they get the books in the house anyway? Like, why let this human man give them these, I mean, I guess it's also to entertain the kids, you know, like fiction is very good for the brain, and so I guess they could justify it by like, oh, like let's give them some stuff to read so they won't get bored and their brains will grow so we can eat them later. Like, I guess that's the idea, but I sort of wonder like how they allowed this man, like how did they allow this man to do this, right? And so it's the adventure story, but it's an adventure story that takes place in a real location that they could find themselves in, and then they can use that to help them. And I think that's very, very smart of William. I'm just sort of suspicious on how these books got approved. How these books got approved in the first place. And I like this. Promise is the Morse code on that one. And so the book is a promise that connects us with Mr. Minerva. I really liked that. And so now the mission is to get to see Minerva, but obviously we've been a little sidetracked about that. I think that the demons may go with them to see Minerva, but I feel like that would also be so risky to like give away the location of this man to these demons that you guys barely know. But I feel like that the plan for the season could be going in that direction. Like, I think that maybe the season will end off with finding Minerva. I think that would make a lot of sense. But I feel like that's also a little too, like, there's 12 episodes, right? I feel like that would also take a little too long. It depends on what kind of detours they get taken on. I really like this scene because it reiterates that there's not really any time to waste. Like, they can't even stop and sleep. They need to keep going even though it's nighttime and it's dark. And you see that everyone starts to get worried about something, but I guess it's just the ground vibrating, like they hear something in the distance and they don't necessarily know what it is yet. And at first I was like, oh, it's just a bunch of fireflies, like why are they afraid? But I realized that the fireflies are all running, like they're basically running too. The fireflies signaled to them that something big was out there scaring the bugs as well. And I thought that this was really cool. Then we get back to what we saw in the very start of the episode. I really like Dawn taking the leadership here, and that like the kids see the signal and they know what to do. I really like the split that they had. I think that was really good. They must have trained to escape in groups, and so again you see that Dawn and Gilda, they're really coming into their roles, and I thought that was great. And the two of us should try to take care of that demon. So I feel like that this kid is basically the next Phil. Like I feel like that maybe it was just some random kid that Emma picked up, but I feel like that this kid is going to be the Phil of the escape group for some reason. Like that's just the vibes that I'm getting. And so I like to see that like Ray's pulling her up, and then also the kids helping too. I thought that was cute. And so they talked about that this is a trap, and they called it the snakes of, again, that fictional story. And so you see that there are more references to outside biology, I guess, that could function for them. So they say that they're snakes, but they're not actually snakes. Like it's a branch trap that they could trap the demon in. I wonder if Minerva like built these around, like, hey, if you see any, they're for the demons, but I don't know. Like, again, there aren't just demons like walking out here. Like, they're specifically trapping the characters of the house, and so maybe he was thinking if anybody ever escapes, they'll use this trap on the demons and they can run away and come find me. I guess that was his idea. So I wonder if he did this or if this is just in the natural biology of things. I guess that's my question. I like Ray's plan, and then you see like Emma's like her bleeding has become more profuse. I like that we sort of see that throughout the episode. We shouldn't sacrifice someone just because we're in danger. I can get it done by myself. And so you see that Ray is doing the first step of the promise that he said to Emma, that he is going to protect everyone in the family, and if he can do something by himself, it's not worth the risk to risk her or the kid that's with them. And so he's just gonna go do it. Who's better at tag? I like that line because it shows there's still some playfulness right here, even though they're in a very like serious situation. I really like that. Join up with Gilda's group and run downwind. And so I like what Norman does here, but then I like the subversion of what happens, because you think, oh, like he's gonna trap him and everything's gonna be fine, but instead it seems like that this monster may actually have been in the wood, like just naturally in the woods. I don't think that this was one of the demons that was chasing them, but then the demons that were chasing them killed the monster. And so I think that is interesting, because Ray even said like it doesn't look like this is the lair of the beast, but then you have this monster here that doesn't actually seem to be a demon or working with these demons, but he kills the monster. And so I don't know, like I think that that's another layer of it, because there are still things in the world that are not demons. Like this is basically just like an animal, like if a bear attacked you, right? That's how I'm sort of thinking about it. But the sword guy actually kills the monster. And I guess they also kill the monster maybe to gain favor with Rey, because they have an interesting conversation here. That was close. I'm glad you're okay. Like, everything's fine now. We defeated the we defeated the monster. And so I wonder if they basically think that he's stupid, right? They're trying to manipulate him. Are you alone? What happened to the others? Now you understand. It's impossible to live outside. Like, it's that sort of attitude, and I think that that's really great. I like that Rey says that the others are dead, because, like, they're just, like, no one's believing that. Like, I don't know why the demon would believe that, but Rey also doesn't know that they can, I guess, sense that the monster didn't eat any humans, so why would everyone be dead? I really like that he shows off his tattoo to be like, yeah, I'm the hot shit of the house. And I really like that. I think that with the sign on the tree, Rey left this for Emma or whoever may find him, and so they said to go to the coordinates and that there was a pursuer. I think that that was the message for him. However, I'm sort of wondering, again, what is stopping the demons from seeing this and knowing it's a coordinate and going after Minerva? Like, I don't know what's stopping them, right? And so I wonder if Rey writing this on the tree will actually come back to bite them in the ass. Obviously, he didn't put the letter, though, and you do need the letter for the coordinates, I believe. Like, you can't just, like, there is A0632, B0632. Like, it would literally take forever if it goes all the way down to Z, right? And so maybe he's not worried about that because they have the letter. Like, all they have is the coordinate, but not the, like, not any reason why or the letter to get the precise coordinate. So maybe he thought that it was worth the risk to just tell them to keep pursuing that, and then the pursuers after, right? Anyway, but yeah, I thought that that was interesting. Do you think something happened? Emma, and so you can see that Emma's band-aid has progressively continued to get worse, so I really like that. And Emma's like, okay, well, I'm gonna go check on them, keep going down. And I like that Dawn is actually, like, he may be a himbo. I keep calling them that, but he's really not, though. He's very, it seems like that he sees something in Emma that Gilda doesn't. Like, Gilda just listens to her and keeps going, but Dawn sees something suspicious about Emma, and then he calls them all back, right? He goes over to her, realizes that she's down, and then calls the kids back. And so you see that it seems like her wound has opened, and now there's a bunch of nasty stuff going on behind the band-aid. And then we see the girl, and so I'm really interested in the demon girl and the demon guy. I have the theories about them being sort of demi-demons, and I think that that will come into play. Crone told us there are humans outside, then she's on our side, but it seems like they didn't realize at this point that she was a demon. They thought that she was a human. However, it does cut when it says, show your face. And so I wonder if everybody else already did know that they were demons and they were just okay with it for some reason, because later Emma and Rey are asking, like, hey, where are the other kids? And they're in the room or something. They're in the next room. We didn't actually see them. I doubt that they're all dead. That would be very weird. That would be whack if they were just all dead, considering, again, I think that this girl and then the demon guy, they're gonna be allies. But I wonder if this cut right here, she did actually show them their face, and then she convinced them to come with her, because they had basically, like, she told them something that she hasn't told Emma and Rey yet. I sort of wonder that, because we don't see the result of show us your face. Because why, like, Gilda is just like, who are you? What are you? Show us your face, right? What are you? And so she's a little suspicious that she's not human. So I wonder if they knew that she was a demon, but they decided to follow her anyway because of X reason that the demon gave that we didn't see on screen. I'm sort of thinking in that capacity. Then we see Rey, and he's, like, cornered, and I like the detailing that they put on his eyes, because you can feel how exhausted he is. It's like he can't go on anymore, but then he sort of starts to get up, and he's like, no, I promised them. So he still has that determination to keep his promise, and I like that we saw that even if Deus Ex Demon Horseman came to save him, because I feel like that it was still an important character moment for him, that he was still willing to fight. And then this demon guy came to rescue him. And so I do wonder if they know about these demons that are in the forest, right? If the pursuers know about this. I doubt they'd be okay with it, but I wonder, like, if they know that there are like rebel demons in the forest and why. And I like that they're just like, oh, if you can't smell, like look around with your eyes, like there must be footprints, there must be something. But you know, I feel like that these guys are probably going to be at least a villain until the mid-season of this season. I feel like that they won't be around any longer than that. I'm glad that they reconnected quickly. I was a little worried about that. I was like, uh-oh, are they going to be separated for a long time? But the hooded man and the hooded girl, they clearly seem to be working together. So I'm glad that Ray and Emma reunited very quickly. A blanket and water, a bell to call for help, and we're not tied up. If they were enemies, I don't get what their objective would be. And so I agree with that. I think that Ray's initial theory is correct. I feel like that they're not enemies. I feel like that even though they're demons, there's something about them that makes them sympathize with humans or makes them willing to save the humans. And I sort of wonder. See, like she seems to show genuine concern about them. It seems like she is genuinely concerned about them overexerting themselves. And you managed to run away from that farm. So I think that that was interesting that she said that, because she seems to know about the farms, but why are they out here? Like, I'm sure that this isn't a regular occurrence for them, right? And so that's the other thing. She doesn't know who Minerva is, and they think that they're part of Minerva's group, but clearly they're not, because we see that, like, in the other dialogue. But what I'm thinking is, like, why would there be, like, this isn't a group to save humans. It can't be, because this doesn't happen, right? As far as we know, like, they're the first house to actually break out and get this far. And so I don't think that the hooded man and the hooded girl are just in the woods, like, they're just waiting for some humans to pop up. Like, I don't think that that is their affiliation. So I don't think that they're a specific. Minerva may be just waiting somewhere, waiting for the day when kids are smart enough to escape and get to him. But I think that the hooded man and the hooded girl, it wouldn't make any sense for them to be a specific group that saves the humans from the farm, or at least like helps the humans that have escaped from the farm, because as far as we know, this doesn't happen on the regular. Like, they're the exception. So yeah, I don't know, I'm just thinking. I'm thinking out loud. Where are the kids who were with me? They're over there. I finished preparing food. So yeah, I saw that this made a lot of people worried, because it's like the kids are over there with the food, right? Like, hopefully the kids are not the food. Like, I feel like that may be some people's concern upon first seeing that line. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, I don't know. Like, I feel like that she probably, again, wouldn't just chop up all the kids. I feel like that would be pretty bad. And so I feel like that she's on our side, again, based on the OP. The OP could be a red herring, though. Like, I've seen anime do that in the OP, and then the second episode, they're, like, split away from each other because you find out that she's actually evil. Like, She-Ra, for example, She-Ra's OP did that, where as the characters were changing sides, the OP would also change. And so it could be that the OP is like a red herring, I don't know. But I doubt it, I doubt it. The man who saved me in the hood, is he part of your group? Are you referring to Sunjun? Yeah, he's here too. So it's not Mr. Minerva. Minerva, you don't know him, William Minerva? And so she says no. And so that's what I'm thinking about. I'm like, what is this group, right? They say part of your group, but it's not Minerva's group that is purposefully trying to teach the kids how to escape and survive in the outside world with the books. Instead, it's just them two. So I feel like that they're not a group that specifically saves humans. I feel like rather they are two people that have been exiled, and this is just what they decided to do on this day. Why are the demons saving humans? I like this because you see Ray see the foot, and Emma's just like, what the fuck? And then she lifts up her hood a little more. This reminds me a lot of Spider Riders. Maybe I will include a photo of what I mean, like with the mask. And so I wonder, it seems like these are her eyes, but she seems, again, very human. And so my humanoid theory still stands. And then you see this man back here, and again, it's very similar. So I'm not sure if that's the mask or if that's her face, because the other demons seem to have that sort of plating too. And I feel like that this is bone and that those are her eyes. And the same thing probably is true about this guy, because he has the same sort of mask. In terms of this, what this reminds me of is I remember when I was a kid, I used to play this Nancy Drew game, and I don't remember exactly what it was for, but one of the puzzles was about, like, different, like, Greek gods, and I remember that they all have different signs, so, like, Aphrodite, and Hermes, and Athena, and Poseidon, like, they all have different, like, things like this. Like, it looks very much like this. They have different little symbols, and so I'm thinking that I looked it up online. I couldn't see one that looked exactly like this, but I wonder if that could be a hint to the audience, because obviously I don't think that the demons demons would have the equivalent of Greek mythology, right? Like, this looks like Aphrodite's symbol, but with another line. I couldn't find anything like that on the internet, but I wonder if it could signal to the audience that this is, again, the godhood theory that I already proposed, that these are demigods, that this is a demon and human hybrid, and that this could be the symbol of the fact that he's like almost like a demon prince of some kind, right? And that they've run away or something. And so I feel like that maybe that symbol could be a clue that they are sort of like how the gods have symbols, the demi-demons would also have symbols. That's my theory. Yeah, so Ray looks pretty pleased with himself as he's saying this. He's like, why don't you both tell us why you're out here saving us? And so I'm really interested in these characters and their backstory. I think that it is going to be as simple as they were exiled, they didn't mean to save them, they're not like sitting around waiting for humans to save, but they saw that they were in danger and they saved them because they're outcasts, and I feel like that they'll protect the kids because now the kids are also outcasts, like they've broken part of the system in society. Now it's time to dismantle the system, bro. And let's talk about the end song. This window looks like the window that was in the house. I remember that they utilized the window for something. Now I'm not sure what it was anymore. It's been a while, guys. I haven't rewatched the show in a long time, like probably since I watched it the first time, to be perfectly honest. But I think that this is the window in the house. Then you see the girl and the guy, they're walking together. She looks very much like this looks like a cross. I don't know if that has a specific symbolism. I feel like this end song is really showing their backstory. You have the clock, and like I mentioned before, the clock is at the beginning of the OP, and you see it covered in the demon flowers, but then you see it covered in like the nice flowers. And so I feel like that this could be some sort of signal. Like, this could be either Minerva's hideout or that could be their hideout, and the clock is representative of that. Like, it's a symbol of this being their hideout, because otherwise this just looks like a bunch of grass, but this could be like the door. Like, maybe these are even like those twisty things when you like unscrew, you know, one of those metal things like on a bunker or something. Like, I think that that would be cool. All these pipes, I'm not exactly sure what this means. I think it's just like, you know, there are gears, like the pipeline of sending kids to the Demon King. And I really like these few scenes that we have here. And so we see that they're sort of settling, that there's again a big tree here, and this tree comes up a couple times. So I wonder if this hideout with the clock could be Minerva's, but this hideout with the tree is actually their hideout. And even though, like, I know it's called The Promised Neverland, so when I first watched the show, I remember I was expecting it to be some sort of Peter Pan retelling, like Peter Pan but anime. And I don't think it's that at all. However, this giant tree reminds me of Peter Pan. Like, I wonder if there are very loose references to Peter Pan, and one of them could be this tree, if this tree is their hideout, because Peter Pan had a tree that was hollowed out on the inside, and they lived, like, in the tree and stuff. So I wonder if this could be, like, because this I don't know if this is just wood or whatever, but this looks like it could be a door. You go inside of the tree, and you go underground, and that's their hideout, like, hidden in plain sight. I like this scene because it's just, they seem very calm and human. I wonder if they're brother and sister, like you have a big brother taking care of his little sister out in the wilderness. Like, that's the vibe I'm getting. I really like this shot. Like, she just looks so nice. Like, I don't think that she's bad. She's just misunderstood at the moment. Yeah, so see, this blonde girl is what I was talking about. And so I wonder if this was her and they somehow turned her into a demon. Like, I wonder if this, like, my hybrid theory may still be correct, but it's not like a demon and a human fucked each other. It's something to do with magic and they turned a human into a demon. Or if this was like someone that she knew or something. Because I feel like that this girl is so important, but I have never seen, like, I don't recall seeing her before. And so I wonder if this kid has something to do with their backstory or something. I don't know yet. Like, they don't really have any visual similarities. At least, like, I think that, I don't know, they both have long hair. That's basically it, right? Like, that's probably nothing. But I wonder if this was somebody that she knew, because this whole end sequence is about them. Like, it's about the demon girl and the boy, and then also Norman. We'll talk about him in a minute. But I wonder if this could be part of their backstory, that either this was her and then you see the flower growing out of her, because that usually represents the death, but what if it was like she was reborn into a demon? I don't know. And then you have the gates of one of the houses, and you have it turning to winter. Obviously, winter can represent a lot of things in anime. Like, obviously, there's just winter as a season, but it's also like death and the death before the rebirth. There's different things that winter means as symbolism. And so you see like this little girl, like this girl, I would actually say is the demon girl. That's what I would say, that this girl is the demon girl, and then she was changed into a demon later on. That's what I would say. I actually went back because I missed this cut. So you see this cut here, then you see one of them dead, and then you see all the feet, right? And so I wonder if there are select humans that are turned into demons. I don't know. I wonder if that's another alternative to just being a mom, right? Because we've talked about that being a mom is one of the only ways to live. I wonder if this could possibly be another way, but then her and her demon brother escaped or something. That's what I'm sort of thinking about. Then you have something human, and again, I think the books are just representative of Minerva and how the books are helping them in the journey, and then you see what is very clearly Norman. Is Norman dead? No, that's it. That's all I have to say. Then you see this, and so I wonder if these ruins are actually an old house. Like, I wonder if one of the houses has already been destroyed, because this window design looks like the window in the house before, but obviously this isn't a house, this is just some rubble. So I wonder if this is representative of one of the houses having been taken down. Maybe the houses that those two demon kids are from, I guess. The demon man and the hooded girl. I wonder if this could be the house that they were from, if they were in fact humans converted into demons somehow. But I wonder if this could also be like maybe a house that Minerva escaped from, you know, if Minerva was once a human and he escaped, or even like other kids, if other kids are out there. But yeah, this looks like it used to be a house, and it used to be the same window like that they used to look out of, but now it's destroyed and like nature is reclaiming it. So I wonder if that could be either pointing to their backstory, that they were kids that escaped from the house and then they turned into demons. I wonder if that could also be the natural conclusion for the kids, is that we don't exactly know. Like, obviously the moms are the carriers of the babies, right? Like, we've already we know how babies work, guys. But I always ask, like, where does the sperm come from? Right? Like, you have the moms and the moms are safe, but where do they get the sperm? And so I'm wondering if all of the kids are actually demon human hybrids in some way, and that's why, like, they're also extra smart as well. And then eventually, if you outlive your brain eating date, you turn into a demon, and that's what happened to these two, is that they turned into demons eventually. I think that's actually not a bad theory. Not a bad job, Cal. I feel like we've had a lot of good ideas this episode. We're piecing it together, right? So I feel like that could be it. Like, I always wondered, like, where are they getting, like, all these, like, where are they getting all this sperm? What if they were using, like, demon sperm, and then, like, the moms, like, were carrying demon children, and then past that brain date, the date that they were supposed to get adopted, they would start, like, turning into demons? Like, I don't know. I don't know, but yeah, I think that's basically it. I really like her hair, by the way, and I like, again, we're getting the shot of this tree, so I feel like this tree is definitely their hideout or something, and that is basically it from me. So I hope that you guys enjoyed our video discussing the first episode, and I don't really have anything else to say. I really enjoyed it. I think that it does a great job of giving us stuff that we liked last season while also introducing new concepts, like these friendly demons. I feel like that it still upholds the mystery and the intrigue that we had last season. It's just applying it in a new way. That is basically it from me, everyone, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!